An interesting riddle in the city of David is the quest for the tombs of the biblical kings. The Bible tells us that David died and was buried within the city of David, inside the city, which is an exception. Usually, Jews would bury their dead outside the city. The Bible tells us that David and his descendants were all buried in the city of David. But it doesn't give us the GPS coordinates. A French Jewish archaeologist named Well discovered in the 1920s these two shafts, these two underground halls, which he tried to link to the biblical royal tombs. Most archaeologists believe that they are actually from Roman times and these are basements. But these are all educated guesses. One thing is for sure, in the Middle Ages, Jews developed an alternative site suggesting that David is buried on a hill west of the city of David on Mount Zion. Muqadsi in the 10th century is the first Muslim source to document, to testify that the tomb of David is not in biblical Jerusalem in the city of David, but rather here on Mount Zion. Already in his time, a contemporary Jewish source by the name of Binyamin of Tudela disagrees with him. But by the 15th century, it becomes a very established tradition, so much that Jews are trying to buy the property of his tomb from its Christian owners. What am I talking about? Let's see the site. In the 18th century, the Turks decorated the whole building with a specific type of tiling which is considered an 18th century magical forest style. The tomb itself is a place of veneration of prayer. It is divided between a men praying section and a women praying section. This wooden veil separates the two halves. In the back, one can notice a niche. Some suggest that that means that there used to be a synagogue here, oriented towards the Temple Mount. These massive stones indicate that this building is part of some much bigger complex. And indeed, the origin of the structure itself is from Crusaders' time. And today, on top of the tomb of King David, the Christians venerate the second floor as the place of the Last Supper. And at some point of time, the Muslims turned the whole thing into a mosque. I think it's the only place in the world which is a place that is both sacred to Jews, Christians, and Muslims.